Okay. Hello, students. This is Dr. Zhong, your instructor of CSIT 112 in the summer of 2020. So, um, due to this COVID-19 pandemic, um, our course has been transferred to go online totally. And the same thing applies to all the summer courses at Montclair State University. And to ensure the safety and health of all the students as well as faculty. Personally, I think this is a good decision. So the health or life is more important than face-to-face meetings. Still, we need to meet say online in order to make the progress in our course. So so the course format will be like that. Okay, every week, say every Sunday or every Monday morning, I'm going to upload my highlight video. I'm going to provide a highlight video, which is around 20 minutes. Okay, in this video, I'm going to talk about the important things in the following week. So what kind of content are we going to cover, and what kind of exercise do we need to finish? Okay, and also I'm going to talk about the most important part in the week. And after so besides the highlight video, okay, sorry, once again, it is posted on YouTube. So I'm going to upload the link of YouTube every week. Okay, so then every week I'm going to provide you the slides. Okay, the slides for to study. And besides that, okay, the most important thing for you to do is the exercises on a platform called My Programming Lab. Okay, the exercise on My Programming Lab. Basically, all of your grades are calculated based on your performance on this platform. So I'm going to talk about um, the My Programming Lab thing later. Okay, so if we look at the material, okay, we're going to use the textbook called Java Software Solution Foundations of Program Design, the 9th edition. Okay, so and the main focus of our course CSIT 112 is from chapter 8 to chapter 12. Okay, so each chapter is going to have a relatively different weight when calculating your final grade. Okay, and this is our tentative schedule. So in the first week, we're going to focus on chapter 8, in which we will talk about array operations. And in the second week, we're going to talk about inheritance and polymorphism. So this is kind of like the advanced design of classes in object-oriented programming. And in the third week, we're going to talk about exceptions. In the last week, we're going to talk about recursions. Okay, so this is the tentative schedule. And also then let's come back to the My Programming Lab thing. Okay, so I think all of you should have already received two announcements that I posted on Canvas, saying that asking you to check if you can have free access to My Programming Lab. So the policy is that so before that, okay, My Programming Lab is a web-based platform in order for you to type in your program and see the output of your program. So it provides a very interactive way for you to learn programming. So this platform is pretty good. And the other good thing of My Programming Lab is that the exercises are very compatible with the book that we are going to use. So it is a very perfect fit for our course. But the thing is that it's not free. Okay, as per our department has already reached an agreement with My Programming Lab. The agreement is that, okay, if you took CSIT 111 in either the spring semester, spring 2020, or summer 2020. The department is going to cover your cost for for my program lab. And so what you need to do is just to send an email to Miss Melissa, with your my programming lab. I'm going to call it MPL account. Okay, so she will be able to add you to the course that we're going to learn, which is CSIT 112. Okay, so basically you will have free access. Okay, and but if you have never taken CSIT 111 at Montclair, or you took it a very long time ago, say 3 years ago or 4 years ago, unfortunately you won't have the free access to it. So I have been contacting my programming lab for quite a few times, and what I've been told is that, okay, there are two options. If you need to pay for the access of my programming lab, you will have two options. Either the option one is that, okay, you pay $49, and then you will get the lab. You will have the access to the lab exercise. Okay, and the other option is that if you pay $99, you will have both the access to both the lab as well as the textbook, a PDF textbook, I think. Okay, so so this is what you are going to do. Okay, and so this is two options for you if you don't have access to my programming lab. What I'm doing is that I'm contacting the department to see if the department can cover the cost for everybody for option one at least. But to be honest, I'm not sure, because this is a big cost. So I'm not sure if the department is going to pay for that. But I'm going to try that. Okay, and I think by Tuesday, which is June, I think 16th. Yeah, by June 16th, I should be able to hear from the department about their decision. So if the department has some funding, then they will definitely pay it. But if the department is in lack of funding, then unfortunately you will have to pay it out of your pocket, around $50. Okay, so I'm going to let you know by the end of Tuesday, June 16th. Okay, and also I need to mention one thing. Okay, which is the due date of your lab. So the due date of your lab is every Sunday. Okay, so for in the first 3 weeks, actually it is from week 1 to week 3, your due date is going to be Sunday. For the last week, for week 4, your due date is going to be the Thursday of that week. The reason is that our course closes on the Thursday of the last week, and according to the agreement with the university, I need to upload your final grade in 2 days, 2 days after the Thursday. Okay, which is like Saturday or Sunday of that week. So I cannot let you submit your lab on Sunday of that week, because in that way I'm not going to have sufficient time to calculate your final grade and upload them to NIST. So okay, please make sure that you submit your labs on time. And also, in case that you have something in your life, say you need to move to a new apartment or whatever, so please let me know so that I can give you an extension on your labs, but not for the last one. Okay, for the last one I really cannot give you any extension. Okay, so this is the structure of our course. So let's go to the um, uh, the content of this week. Okay, in this week we are going to learn arrays. So arrays are very important, very important. Say that structure in Java. In this chapter, we are going to have 7 sub-chapters, which covers how to declare and use an array, and bound checking, and how to say use variable length, parameter list, and multi-dimensional array. And finally, we're going to learn something about the GUIs like polygons, polylines, and choice boxes to reduce your difficulty. Okay, you feel free to skip the last 2 sub-chapters and just focus on the array operations, which are the core part of this course. Okay, sorry, not of this course, but of this chapter. So first, let's look at what is an array. Array is basically a sequence of objects. Say suppose let's take an example. Suppose we have a student who takes 3 courses in a semester. So we want to store the course ID of the students. Let's say the course ID are integers, like 111, 112, 212, whatever. So every course ID is just an integer. Okay, so suppose that we know a student can register up to 3 courses in one semester. So then to keep a record of which courses have the students taken, the first way is that we create 3 integers with which 3 integer variables with which we are going to memorize the ID of the courses that the student have already taken. Okay, so but a more compact way is that why not we just create an array of integers. So the array of integers is something like that. Okay, so if we put down, it's going to be something like that. It's going to be a continuous sequence of multiple values. Okay, so in order for you to declare an array, it's pretty easy. Okay, so if we look down over here, this is the operation for you to declare the array. So suppose here we know that a student can take up to 3 courses. So we can just create an. So let me write it down at the bottom. So what we can do is that we can create an array of integers. We call it course IDs, and we're going to create. So this is the operation to create an array whose type is integer and whose space is 3. So after that, so with this operation, we are going to create an array of 3 which has 3 cells, open spaces of values in our memory, and their index are going to be 0, 1, and 2. So respectively. So remember that the index of the array starts from 0 rather than 1. At least this applies to Java and C++. So suppose that here, you know that the first course that the student registered is 112. So what you can do is that, so here we want to store 112 in the first space of this array, right? So what we can do is that we can assign 112 to the 0th position of the array. So with this operation, we're going to put 112 over here, and then here you can say course IDs 1 equal to, let's say, 212. Course IDs 2 equal to, let's say, 345. So with these 3 operations, you are going to be able to memorize the values of the courses that the student has already registered. So here you can say with the help of array, instead of creating 3 different variables, we just need to memorize one variable name okay, and this variable can say can span multiple spaces, and so we can use this variable, the different locations of this array, to memorize some values. Okay, so this is the first part called array declaration and use. And the other thing that I want to talk about is how to use an array. Suppose here, again, let's follow the example. Suppose here we have an array whose name is course IDs, and it has 3 spaces. So suppose here now you want to print out the courses that the students has already registered. Basically, you want to you want to iterate through all the three locations or spaces of the array. So there is one very efficient way to do is this. Okay, you create a for loop. Say we have integer equal to 0, meaning that we want to iterate from the 0th position of the array. I is less than 3 because the array length is 3, and the maximum say the largest index is just 2. So we need to stop when I reaches 3. Okay, so here what we can do is that you can have a system.out.println statement to print out every course that the student has already taken. So in the first loop we have I equal to 0, so we are going to print out 1, 12. In the second loop we increase I by 1, so I is going to be 1. So we print out 212. So the first output is 112, and the second output is 212, and the last output is 345. Okay, so this is a very traditional way to go through every element in an array. And so sometimes you want to forget about the index. What you can do, another way to iterate through an array is this. You use for int value, and in the array. So basically this statement is like, okay, for every value that is in the array, I'm going to print it out. So the output is going to be the same. Okay, so this is the second this is the how to go through an array. And then the last part I want to briefly talk about is called multi-dimensional array. So far we only talk about an array whose size is like 3, which only has one an array that only has one dimension. But it's possible that we have an array that has multiple dimensions. And so a very famous example is just in our slide. Okay, let's go to that page. Yes, it's over here. So suppose here you have a 2-dimensional array. For example, I'm not sure if you know the concept of matrix in math. A matrix is basically a 2-dimensional array, so which stores multiple values, and its size is fixed. So here sometimes with array you can create a 2-dimensional array, so which spans either both horizontally and vertically. So this is the statement to create a 2-dimensional array whose size is 12 by 50. 12 by 50 means that we are going to have 12 rows and 50 columns. Okay, so this is the way to create a two-dimensional array. And say if you want to visit a value, so you can use table ij, where ij is the index of the value. Okay, means the nth row and jth column. Okay, so this is how you refer to that array. Okay, And so this pretty much concludes our highlighted video for the first week. So enjoy your study and let me know if you have any question. Thank you.